On the Genesis G80 Electrified, you plug in the charger up front here in the grill. Fully charged, go ahead, unplug, put the cover back on, and then you just close it there, and the charging port vanishes. We see that little icon there. Press that, opens up. It's pretty cool. We're gonna spend a couple days living with the Genesis G80 Electrified to see what it's like. Two different colors of brown leather, the brown wood trim. Soft closed doors? Yes. Welcome sequence and EV start stop. We should be fully charged, and what's the range showing? Wow, it is showing 320 miles on a full charge, which I think is actually higher than the rated range for this model. I'll have to double check that number, but if true, and it can actually achieve that in the real world, that is pretty impressive. With the infotainment screen back there, quick look at the interior. With that, we gotta head home. I'm going to pair my phone's Bluetooth to the screen. Very nice large screen here. We can interface with this rotating dial here. And we'll go to media, connect the device. I wonder if this is touchscreen too. It is also touchscreen, but that's a bit farther reach, which is good that we have the rotating dial down here. We connected via Bluetooth, but it does not have wireless CarPlay, so I have to get a USB cable, which looks like it doesn't even have USB-C ports, so I have to go find a cable for my iPhone. We do have a wireless phone charger though, right there. 100% charge, showing 320 miles with my climate control on. If I turn it off, I get an extra 2 miles. That's not worth it. I am heated steering wheel, heated seat. I don't care if I lose range. It's getting cold out now, so we're gonna drive in comfort. With that, let's head off. Just go to the left. That's reverse. Pulls up the camera, surround view, overhead view. The same beeping noise that we've heard in the rest of the Kia Hyundai family vehicles that are electric and have that backup noise. Like some of their other cars in the lineup, we have the blind view monitor, which pulls up a live camera feed when you turn on the turn signal of the respective directions. If I go right, turn signal pulls up there. Really cool, right in this digital cluster. And this cluster itself, look at those graphics. It gives a really cool 3D depth effect. I love it. It looks so, so awesome. And I'm sure if we change drive modes, it will also update you. Look at that. There's comfort, sport. Let's try sport. Oh, that's actually quicker than I thought. Obviously, instant torque. I just got out of a Lucid Air, which makes 885 pound-feet of torque, so this is nowhere close to that level. But that was zippy. That was more than I expected. So the Genesis G80 Electrified, obviously a full EV version of the G80, which is their luxury sedan sitting below the G90. And prior to actually the car getting dropped off and me getting the window sticker, I thought I just had a regular Genesis G80 coming. And then I saw the window sticker and I was like, wait, no, it's the electrified version. So really interested to see what it's like, because I've spent some time with other Kia Hyundai Genesis family EVs, mainly the Ioniq 5 and the EV6. And I'm a big fan. I really like them for the price point in their segment. So this as a more luxurious version, it's gonna be cool to see what it's like to live with. One thing though, the range. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere it's like 280-ish miles of range. I gotta go look up some of the numbers before we get later on into this video. And I have a trip to Michigan tonight, and I need to get there. We can use Electrify America charging, but I've also heard many horror stories of public charging stations. I usually just charge the EVs that I have at the office, not even at home, because we have a charger at my office. So I don't think I'm gonna take this tonight. It's just a one-night trip to Michigan, so I think I'm gonna hop in my A8 and drive it, and we'll pick the Genesis back up once I'm home. If I had more time, if I was doing a week-long trip or something, I'd probably go for it, test out the charging infrastructure. I'll try to find something locally maybe to try out with this G80, but just because I have late night there and back, I think I'm gonna take my A8. Now, if I had the Lucid still, which was picked up yesterday, that has 384 miles of range, which is more than enough, and I would be more comfortable with that. But this is right on the limit, and I don't really want to get stuck in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. So, yeah, but we're heading home right now, and we'll see how the rest of the night goes. We are back from Michigan, just a quick one-day trip. I ended up taking the A8. It's about a 600-ish mile round trip, and I just didn't really want to deal with the charging. I mean, it probably would have been been okay, but without a doubt, it would have taken more time. Even if I found a fast charger station that was available, fully functional in the G80, I would have had to sit there for at least 20-30 minutes, and then turnaround time, same thing. So I was on a bit of a schedule crunch, and it just shows a little bit of infrastructure development needs and also my distrust for the EV charging network, because I have had couple not so great experiences. I've heard people who have really, really bad ones. I really do love the A8 though, but we're gonna hop in the G80 now. So it's actually be interesting to compare how a used flagship A8 with a conventional internal combustion engine compares to a new age electrified luxury sedan that's not the same class level of the A8, but it has some pretty impressive technology. The key fob has a lot of buttons. Lock, unlock, hold to open the trunk. That's the horn alarm. Headlights, park forward, park back, hold to start. I mean, that's a lot. What does this one do? Oh, turns on the headlights if you hold it. And off. I have remote control headlights. That's a new one. Go ahead and unlock. You have the signature Genesis 2 lines of styling for the lights. I'm just gonna throw it back in the back seat. This nice saddle brown leather with some quilting. You see out back, the double stack taillights. This almost has like a sport back profile, the way it angles back like this. Think like a Audi A7 type of shape. And then you have the lights on the side. And then the split 2 lines lighting up front, going onto the big Genesis Shield grille over the dark blue paint. It looks almost identical to a regular G80, but the grille obviously doesn't need airflow, so this is all filled in. And there's like a slightly darkened area. That's got to be sensors behind here. See a camera there, and then like I showed earlier, the charging door, which is actually pretty nicely camouflaged. Secret charging door. Like if you stand from here and you didn't know it was there, you would not see that. It's a nice sleek way to integrate it, because otherwise usually they have a big charging door on the side, which would interrupt some of these really nice lines and lighting elements and things like that. That diamond pattern also continues down here. You see it on like this grille area, painted body color, nice dark blue. Oh, even on the Genesis logo, that looks like almost like blue carbon fiber inside the logo with the wings. And with that, let's go hop inside. A lot of brown. Yeah, Lexicon sound system. Soft closed doors. Oof, it's cold out today. Cold and rainy. Heated seats. Turn the temperature up a little bit. Ah, I forgot a USB cable again. It has plugged in CarPlay, so I guess I'll just Bluetooth it today. This wood trim is nice. It extends across the console area, across the entire dashboard there. 2-spoke steering wheel. Well, 2-ish. It's like 2 main spokes, but a little opening right here. And we have paddle shifters, which don't obviously change gears. It is more so regen, I think. I'll play around with that. You see the little icon on there. It's got like more arrows there and less in that one. So I do have a complaint with the seating position in the G80. It feels like I'm too high up. I can't drop it any lower. And like I've tried to adjust the steering wheel up and down and everything. I haven't found myself super comfortable sitting in this driver's seat. I know I just got into my A8, which is a big luxury couch, but like the Lucid that I just left had a more comfortable seating position. It just feels like I'm perched up and I can't drop the seat anymore. The seat has a lot of adjustability. Like as soon as you put your hand down there, you see it's like moving around, all sorts of different things. I do have a massage too. I will go whole body, but it's just not as comfortable. All right, we're gonna head off. So the paddles change the amount of regen, and you can see it here in that little gauge in the corner of the cluster. If I pull the right pedal, you see that level dropping, and then the left pedal makes it go all the way up. And it's just how aggressively the car is hitting the regen when you let off the accelerator. Camera's automatically pulled up as I'm pulling into the space. Hear the sensors beeping. That works. Overhead view camera, easy. Does this also have... Oh yeah, everything has the 360 view now. All right, where they rendered the car out. Pretty cool. As to be expected, smooth, quiet, nice materials inside the G80, but nothing about this car so far has wowed me. Like when I got the G90, I know that's like a level up, right? Price point's a bit higher, but the G90, I was like, oh my gosh, I can press the brake pedal, the door closes itself, and it's got this and this and that. This is much more a regular luxury car. just electrified. So we're gonna head inside for a day full of meetings, and we'll pick this back up this evening after work. All right, let's back up the G80 with the key fob. So if we hold this, you see some lights flashing, turning on, and then we hold the backwards button there. Car turns on, starts making little noises, and yeah, there it is. Nobody's in the car. Taking it for a walk, going backwards. Perfect. Or we can make it go forward, back into the spot. It's for like parking. Whoa! It just turned. With the steering. It's for parking. Did you? I didn't know it did that. The steering wheel just turned. Holy crap! I thought I just went straight front and back. And how far will it keep going forward? Oh, it is just, I think, okay. So that's parked. Interesting. Backwards a little bit. We went a bit over. Wow. This is kind of fun. I'm just going to spend the next 15 minutes playing around with the Genesis in the parking lot. Oh, I think I just sensed the truck behind it. Obviously, it won't back into things. So that's not parked. Let me try this again. What?
Can you make it drive all the way here?
I don't think it goes that far, but it just turned the steering wheel for parking, which is pretty cool. And colleagues are over there watching me play remote control car with the G80. There we go. That's parked. Done. That's just fun. You have a really tight parking spot, maybe your garage. That's what this would be useful for. But we'll get in and drive like a normal person. Oh, it is beeping. It is beeping. So that like remote control parking is definitely a really fun feature. I think it's again one of those things where, yes, it has a use case. If you have a really tight garage or parking spot, you could get out, pull it forward, and then walk away. And then when you need to get back into the car, let's just say you're too close to the wall, you can back the car out remotely and then get in. But as you saw, right, like you have to be paying attention. I just made it go into the curb. It does have sensing. It wouldn't back itself into a wall or a pickup truck behind it or something like that. But I don't know. If you own one of these cars, whether it's, I think the EV6 had it, the Ioniq 5 had it, how often do you guys actually use this feature if you're an owner? I just get to spend a couple days a week with the car, and I just try it out for fun. I'm really curious, because it may be one of those things that you just use just to show off, kind of like that 360 camera. It's not as truly practical. It has some applications, but it definitely is fun. It's definitely fun to show off to people like, look, I could take my car for a walk. It defaulted back onto the 360 view as I'm driving through the parking lot. It's nice that it still keeps the overhead view because this is a really wide screen, so it can have multiple views up there. It looks like the car is like gliding forward. The wheels are actually spinning if you look closely. You can see they're actually turning. It's pretty cool. Is this thing quick? Nothing like the Lucid I just had. This is much more normal EV, but it has that initial push that you expect. I think I was just in comfort mode when I floored it. We're in sport mode now, and it's definitely a lot more torquey, way quicker. Oof, it's going. It's that instant, immediate response. You will not get that in the internal combustion version of the G80. It just dies off a lot quicker because, again, this is the more mainstream EV powertrain. As you can see at night, we have some ambient lighting down on the footwell. You have this line right below the wood trim, a bit on the door pocket, and inside the door handle there too. Not crazy over-the-top ambient lighting. And then that touch panel for your climate settings, heated seats on, heated steering wheel. There's a little bit of a vibration. Oh, there's actually multiple settings of the heated steering wheel. Full, 1 dash, or 2 dashes. You get a little vibration, knowing that you actually clicked it along with the sound. Rotating dials for your climate, which is always nice. I already complained about the old USB ports. I keep forgetting a cable. This is a Eddie drives too many different cars all the time problem, and if you own the car, you probably wouldn't have this issue, but I've had to focus to make sure I was actually turning the transmission dial and not the infotainment one, and vice versa, right? I don't want to think I'm turning this and actually turn this, and they're like the same diameter. It's not like they're slightly different size, and they're right in proximity, obviously. So yeah, please don't try to put your car into reverse while you're driving because you think you use the infotainment knob. Yeah, although it probably wouldn't let you. It's not like you can just go into reverse doing 70 miles an hour in this thing. The actual dials themselves are quite nice. See the lighting inside? Going to reverse, it turns this reddish pink. Hear the noise? Back into drive and it fades over. Oh, actually, that's pretty cool. It's not like an instant change. Kind of goes purple for a second. What's neutral? Neutral's still blue. Okay, so it's just like the color change. Nifty. Park in the middle. Easy enough. Car's probably like, why are you going into reverse and drive over and over and over again? And off we go. Man, this instrument cluster is so cool. Good morning. It is very early. It is cold and dark out, and I am about to head off to Montana. So I'm gonna remote start this to warm it up a little bit. Let's see, which button is that? I think it's this one. Start the heated seats up a little bit. Hopefully it warms up quickly. Off we go. There we go. The Genesis logo projection puddle lamp. I remember my USB cable so we can have CarPlay. And there we go, CarPlay. Oh, it's supposed to rain all day. Good thing we're running away to Montana, where it's gonna be cold, but hopefully not raining. We have arrived at the airport, about to fly off to Montana, so we will pick this back up on Sunday when we return to Chicago. I'm actually doing fine on range. We're down to 235 miles to empty. Haven't charged it since, what was that, yesterday I think, or 2 days ago? Back from our trip. Hello, G80. The trunk does lose some storage space. You see that hump there? That's probably because of the batteries. All right, backpack and luggage in the trunk. And again, as soon as you get in the car, the first thing you notice is the seating position. It's weird, it doesn't go low enough. And we were just in Montana with some other media friends, and I was talking to Tom Tedward. I was like, have you driven a G80 Electrified? And he goes, yes. And I was like, seating position. He goes, absolutely. It doesn't go low enough, and it's a really weird feeling. I know I like dropping the seat all the way down in pretty much anything I drive, but this one, it's weird. Reminder of how much range we have left. Oh, we're doing fine. 236 miles to empty. This feature here is fancy luxury sedan things. You can control the passenger seat here. I can also change the recline. It's for if you have your executive VIP person sitting back there, they need more space. Sometimes you can just control it on like the driver's side. There'll be like a button if the seat controls are there, and you can control the passenger side. But here on the Genesis, they put it on the side of the seat so the driver can control. You have a couple different forms of blind spot warning. You have the red one in the mirror, and then also to show in the cluster, and then when you use your turn signal to pull up the blind view monitor, the camera feed. This is the third time I have done it this week, but I just got out of the car, went to lock it, all it did was just beep at me, and I'm like, what? Oh crap, I forgot to turn it off. I got used to the Lucid last week when you just put it in park and walk away and it turns itself off and locks. I did complain about that, but I got very used to it very quickly, and it's easy with an EV because it's just quiet, right? So yeah, the car is not currently off now, so I need to turn it off and then lock it. Gotta remember, not every single EV has that feature. Running a couple errands this evening, coming back out to the G80. Show you the lighting as the sun is setting. I did notice something earlier when I was putting stuff in the trunk. It's like almost like a little Easter egg. The shape of the trunk release button with the rear view camera there is like the Genesis crest, right? It's like the little shield shape in the middle. If you look, that shape there in the middle, that's the shape of that button. No, the trunk's open too far up. See right there? It's a cool little detail. G80. Obviously no exhaust tips down here. Directional wheels that I won't even count how many spokes that is. And then the lighting on the side is cool. On these new Genesis models, I think that's a really, really interesting design element right there. It's pretty cool. Actually, I wonder if there is a front trunk. I think not, because this is a repackaged internal combustion engine platform, which means it will never be as ideal as built from the ground up as an EV platform. Yeah, nope, okay. There is no front trunk. There is your EV engine cover with some pretty serious looking orange high voltage cabling and shielding there, and then it's like Gatorade. Yeah, pink and blue. Those are, what are those color coded for? Battery? And don't touch unless you have a wrench and a hard hat. There we go. Don't touch that no matter what. So that's a bit of a shame, because if you think about like the Lucid Air, built from the ground up, tons of storage, massive front trunk. But now that I mention it, I think the Ioniq 5 and EV6 don't have a proper size front trunk either. So the Hyundai Group, Genesis Group, Kia Group, whatever you call it, doesn't seem to be prioritizing that with their EVs. I do love that cluster. It looks so nice. Oh, also, for some sad reason, it appears my massage seats aren't working. So I've been pressing that button and it pulls up the Ergo Motion Seat Driver, but I keep pressing it and it's not changing. It would turn on before, so I don't know if that's a glitch. I've key cycled it many times. Also, as you touch these seat controls, it's got some sort of, it must be like touch sensitive because it updates on the screen like where you're gonna go. I'm just gently brushing my hands against the edge of these buttons. So that was a pretty cool touch to indicate to you what you're going to be adjusting when you start moving these little knobs here on the side of the seat. But massage seats are not working for me here in the driver's side right now. Some final thoughts on the Genesis G80 Electrified. So this platform wasn't originally designed from the ground up as an electrified one. It started off with an internal combustion engine, a 3.5 liter. There's two ways you can build an EV, right? You can repurpose an existing internal combustion platform, or from the ground up, completely dedicated to be an EV. You can tell the seating position that I complained about already. It's because of the battery pack, right? You lose some of the trunk space. It's just not as perfect because you're trying to retrofit it. In terms of actual like driving power and things like that, it's all-wheel drive. It makes a lot of torque. It's 516 pound-feet of torque, 365 horsepower. So that's more torque for sure than the gas engine. But if I was buying this platform, I think I would still end up going for the gas engine G80. You would have the same nice materials, the technology, the styling and things like that. The ride quality is pretty nice, but this is heavier. It is quick though. I was driving around in sport mode today and off the line, you feel that 500 pound-feet of twist. It just rockets away, right? So that's pretty nice, but some of the deficiencies to me are gonna be the seating position, the range. It was definitely overly optimistic when it showed that 300 plus number or whatever it was, because it's rated at EPA 282. And again, those are always like ideal scenarios. If it gets cold and snowy out, or you're driving at higher speeds on the freeway, you're gonna lose out on that range. So the G80 Electrified, 80 grand. I don't dislike it, I don't love it, it didn't wow me. Like the Lucid absolutely blew me away. The Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6, I was huge fan, really impressed by those. If I were spending 80K on a G80, I think I would end up going for the regular gas engine and maybe ponying up a little bit more and get a G90, because the G90 I was like, okay, this is proper like executive luxury sedan type of stuff. So some final thoughts on living with the G80 Electrified. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bit of a quick one back and forth. This week has been chaos of travel. I'm about to hop on 3 more flights within the next 6 hours. So crazy one, but spending some time with the EV version of the G80. Thanks for watching.